Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about AISH, and I try my best not to get too political on this page. If you want to find out how I feel about things, you can follow me personally, and you see me get in arguments with people all the time on Facebook. But on this particular channel, I do my best to avoid that. Now, the reason that I want to talk about AISH today is because right now the UCP and Jason Kenney are trying to make it harder for people to qualify for AISH. So all I want to do today is talk about what exactly is AISH and how do you qualify for AISH, and once you know that, then you can at least have a little bit of a more informed opinion if somebody asks you how you feel about this. I'm going to have to read a lot of this. There's a ton of information about AISH. I am not an expert in AISH. I understand it, obviously, but if you are looking to apply for AISH, there are specific caseworkers that actually help you apply. There's a lot to it. So go on the website. We'll include the link where you need to find these people, because I'm not going to be the one to ask about specific questions. I'm going to do a lot of reading. So first thing, what does AISH stand for? It stands for Assured Income for the Severely Handicapped. A lot of people think that AISH is some sort of free ride, but right there in the name it says severely handicapped. That doesn't sound all that exciting to me. Personally, I don't want to be severely handicapped so that I can receive some sort of assured income that's hard to qualify for and hard to get. What are, the requirements as far as living is you have to be a Canadian citizen or permanent resident. You have to be over 18 years of age. You have to not be eligible to qualify for old age security. So if you've watched any of my absolutely sweet OAS videos, you know that that comes into effect when you're 65 years old. You have to be a resident of Alberta. This is an Alberta program. And you cannot be in a correctional facility or some government mental health facilities like the Alberta Hospital. In order to qualify for AISH, your disability has to be the main reason why you are unable to earn an income. So you have to be disabled. A doctor has to know that you are severely disabled. There is a very high likelihood that this disability will never go away, and that has to be the reason why you are unable to earn an income. Now, the first thing that AISH is going to do before they give you money is they are going to look at all other avenues. They're going to put you through treatment, they're going to put you through training, they're going to put you through rehab, and they're going to try and get you at least some form of employment, even if it's not a full-time job, just so you can earn some sort of income. Once those avenues are exhausted, then you can actually receive the living allowance from AISH. Now, the bigger thing is the income requirements to qualify for AISH. So the first thing that you need to do if you're trying to get actual money from this program is that you have to go and you have to apply for any other potential sources of income that might be available to you, such as Canada Pension Plan Disability, employment insurance, WCB, and then you can't have any income or assets outside that you personally own that are above the actual guidelines. Now, these guidelines are extremely extensive. There are some non-exempt income and assets that you can have. There are some that are exempt, and there are some that are partially exempt. It's all very complicated. Here's a full list of all of these exempt and partially exempt incomes up on the screen. Did you catch all that? Well, if you didn't, here's a link that will go into further detail about all of that. The AISH recipient isn't allowed to have a net worth above $100,000. These are the same. There's going to be exempt and non-exempt forms in terms of having your net worth. But that means, you know, you could draw from this and then have that income going forward. So one way for parents of people with severe disabilities is to consider an RDSP, a Registered Disability Savings Plan. We'll put the link of the video up here. I talk in detail about what that is and how to use it to your advantage. All of the money inside of there is considered to be exempt. It's not going to take away from what you can receive from AISH, and any income that you receive coming out of it isn't going to go against the AISH income. So the RDSPs are really good if you have somebody in your life that is severely disabled. So if you can meet all of these, you know, physical, economic, and residential requirements, you too can absolutely crush it, and you're going to get $1,685 per month to live on, you know, for the rest of your life, because this number is no longer indexed to inflation. They decided to take that out. That should be enough for any adult to reasonably support themselves and live for the rest of their lives, is what they've thought. There's a lot of technicalities about where you live and spousal things and children. So if you have to live in a care home, then what's going to happen is they're going to pay the facility a certain amount of money for your living. That's going to go directly to the facility, and now your living allowance is just absolutely insane, and you're going to get $322 a month to pay for everything else in your life, which is amazing. The biggest misconception with AISH is that you can somehow have a whole bunch of other money coming into you from all these other sources and then be getting this free $1,685 per month on top of it. Well, that's absolutely not the case. Basically, any income that you have is going to directly reduce what you're receiving from AISH dollar per dollar. So if you're able to go out and work a job and make $500 a month, that's the maximum job that you can get. Well, that's going to reduce what you receive by $500, so you're still earning $1,685 a month. This is roughly equivalent to basically what a senior is going to get if the only income they have is old age security and the guaranteed income supplement. If you want to learn more about those, then you can watch the videos that I've done on those. We'll include those links in the comments. So first, it's obviously pretty hard to receive and qualify from AISH from an economic standpoint, because usually there's some sort of other income sources that you can draw from the federal government or wherever else, maybe some grants and bonds, which might be exempt actually, and because AISH is the absolute last payer. So this is your last potential option for receiving any income from any source, from anywhere. AISH is your last line of defense, and they're the last payer. So what's even harder is if you have a permanent disability, is that now you have to prove that the medical condition that you have is, you know, the reason why you're not able to maintain or keep or get any sort of employment. And the reason that the Alberta government is changing this right now is because they have seen AISH recipients going up over the past few years. Since they've come into power, what's happened is people applying for and getting AISH the numbers are going up. Now, it's fairly easy for somebody that say is in a wheelchair and can't work necessarily, or somebody that has some sort of mental disability where they're just, they can't perform those functions, then obviously, those aren't the ones that they're fighting for. Even though I actually know somebody, that is a quadriplegic that has had a great career, so he never received AISH, even though, he was obviously severely disabled. He's a quadriplegic. But where the sort of, gray area in this case lies is because they've seen the numbers go up, and where they don't see an actual visible disability is within people who have severe mental disabilities that are making them unable to keep employment, such as bipolar disorder or schizophrenia. And these are medically diagnosed from doctors and psychiatrists that actually work in treatment facilities, and you have to be diagnosed with that disorder in order to be able to qualify for AISH. But what Jason Kenney and his wonderful government have said is, well, if I see that person walking down the street, they look absolutely normal to me, so why are we paying them to live on Easy Street? And so, in my opinion, is it because there are more people trying to scam the system, or is there potentially any chance that there are more recipients because there are more people out of work in Alberta right now due to the fact that oil prices are so low and we're in the middle of a pandemic, so people that have disabilities are having a harder time finding jobs, just like regular Albertans that have no severe disabilities are having a harder time finding jobs. Is there any potential that that's the case? Or is it more possible that Jason Kenney and the UCB government knows more than the medical professionals about what somebody's disability is, and they should be the ones that are judging that? And I hope you caught my sarcasm with that. I said I was going to try and remain unbiased, but I would like to tell everybody that this is people's last line of defense. They're in economic trouble. It's not easy to get in the first place, and we should not be cutting funding for these people, because what the hell else are they going to do if they can't get money from the Alberta government? I would personally like to see some of my tax dollars go towards helping these people who obviously can't help themselves. Thank you. Please subscribe.